section, if you want to ask questions from one specific packet or the other, just say which one and what number. Colson, did you find them? Thank you. Okay. So starting with the first section, on this review, it would be any of these first 4 questions. On the other one, it would be the first front and back page. So any of those you want to see, do go over, have questions about. All right. 4 on this one. Okay. So in this section, we are solving by taking the square root. So we have to isolate the variable, get it by itself, subtract 2 to both sides, divide on both sides, simplify if possible. That would become 1 over 4. Take the square root of both sides so that you get rid of the square. Remember that when you take the square root, this becomes plus and minus. And then write your final answer as a solution set in curly brackets. You can either write it just like this, but in curly brackets. Or you can separate it. Yes. No. I'll say for this section, no, because it'll be the same. For the quadratic formula, yes, because they may not be the same. Any others in this section on this page or the same section on the other review that we want to see, do go over, have questions about? Aaron? So the answer has to be in the code of the yes. Unless it says state solutions as ordered pairs, your answer should be in curly brackets. Brian?
Could the answer be undefined?
You can have no solution, 2 solutions, or 1. So not undefined. Any other questions in general, specific, we want to see, do go over in that first section on either review. On this review, this section is objective 3. So we'll do that and then go to the other one. Do we have any questions on this, in this objective that we want to see, do go over? Aaron? 5. So you're looking for the solution. Where does it cross the x-axis? At these 2 points. And you would write them as ordered pairs. -2, 0, and 4, 0. Any others in that section? Does 8 cross the x-axis? No, so there's no solution. Brian?
Does number 7 cross?
Yes, but just once. In the middle. On to the next objective. So objective 2 is on the back of this. Any questions on this or on the other review that we want to see, do go over, have questions about? Aaron?
Number 9.
9. Did you say 2? Did you say 2 of them or just one?
Just number
On this side. Oh, on the other one. Okay. Before we do 9 on the other one, let's do at least one of the ones, either 1 through 6 on the other, or 9 through 12 on this one. Pick one of those. All right. So on the other review that has 6 problems, we'll do number 4. And then from this, you'll have to show me how you found your vertex, whether that's algebraically, on the graph, in the table. Do we want to do this one algebraically, on the graph, or in the table? Aaron, on the graph, okay. So if you don't have your calculator, you need to go grab that. And you're going to type this equation into your y equals. So 3x squared plus 24x plus 45. And then we're doing this on the graph. You can hit graph. If you can see what your minimum or maximum point, lowest or highest point is, you don't have to do what I'm about to do. So I'm thinking this should be at -4, -3, but I just want to make sure it's not like at a decimal or anything. So I'm going to do second trace and find the minimum. Pick some number to the left, some number to the right, and hit enter. 4, -3 is the vertex. So we can plot that point. My work would be I found on the graph. And then I would find my other points. You can do this from the table or the graph, but we said graph, so we're going to keep doing this. I'm going to go second trace, value, and then put in points around there so I know exactly where it is. So I want, these should be -30 and -50, so I don't have to do those. But if I want to find what -6 or -2 are, I would have to put those in. So, also, this is going up and then down. Let's see. Oh, it was -3. Okay, I was like, something? Oh. Here we go. So then -6, 9, and -2, 9. And you would connect those, make like a U. Sometimes they'll look more like a V, but try to make it look like a U. Draw arrows at the top. This one also says, in this review, because it's a mixture of objective 2 and 3, to write the solutions. So where it crosses the x-axis at -50 and at -30. Questions on that? Sorry.
Couldn't you just copy the points? Like, you just copy like straight up off the graph?
If you can see them clearly, yes. My only thing would be is if you mistake a point and then you graph it incorrectly, your graph is going to be graphed wrong. So just double check them. Doesn't hurt to double check. And then Aaron, you said 9. Okay. So then on the back of this, these are in vertex form, so you can find the vertex from the equation if you know what you're looking for. So if you look at the number on the inside and the number on the outside, the number on the inside, whatever it is, switch it. So if it's negative, make it positive. On the outside, leave it, whatever it is. That is your vertex. So you don't really have to do any work to find it. You just have to know how to read this to get it. And then to get the rest of the points, we're just going to use the table. So we would type all of this in to y equals. X minus 1 inside parentheses. Sorry, x minus 3, I put the wrong one. And then squared minus 1. Your table is in blue, so second graph. We already found the vertex, 3, negative 1, so if I find where that is, then I can plot points around it. So 2, 0, and 4, 0. One, 3, and 5, 3. And then that's as much that'll fit on this graph. And then also notice that these graphs have specific numbers. So if you start graphing and you don't have space to plot your points, you may have graphed something incorrectly. This is part of that same combined, so our solutions would be 2, 0, and 4, 0. What questions do we have on that?
How would you solve it without using
The algebraic way. So the algebraic way would just be to find the vertex. I would not recommend doing the whole thing algebraically. These you wouldn't do algebraically anyway. You would do these. So like for this one, I went back to number 1. You would use your x equals negative b over 2a. So this would be negative 6 over 2 times negative 1. Sorry, I was writing all over that. So this would give us 6 over negative 2, or negative 3. And then we would put that back in and find y. And you can put that all in your calculator at the same time or find them in pieces. So if I put it in all together, that would be negative, in parentheses, negative 3 squared minus 6 times negative 3, not 6, minus 5. And that would give us our y value, 4. So we would start at negative 3, 4. But then to find the rest of your points, you would have to use your calculator. You could do it algebraically, but you would have to put each number into this and do that 4 times. So you could do it algebraically. I wouldn't recommend it. It's time consuming. Other general questions or any other questions we want to find the vertex on? We won't graph the whole thing, but if we want to find the vertex, we'll do that. Alright. So if we were finding the vertex of this, look at your inside and outside numbers. How would we write that vertex? Maybe a 3, 2. That's where you would start in the middle. And then you could use your graph or your table to find the rest of your points. Brian?
I didn't make this.
On the inside, whatever it is, you do the opposite. Okay. Now, the last objective, either on this set of review or the other one, and if we want to see, do go over. Mm-hmm.
So for these problems, specifically, all we have to do is just put it in the left hand side and then on the outside.
To find your vertex and then graph it. Any we see on this last objective we want to see, do go over, looks challenging, we have questions on? Awesome. 9 on this one or the other one? We have just enough time. 9. Label your A, B, and C values, which is just a number. And then this page doesn't have it, but above this or somewhere off to the side, write your formula. X equals negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. And then we can start this process. X equals negative B, so negative 5, plus or minus square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 78. All over 2 times 3. And then simplify. So x equals negative b plus or minus 5 squared is what? 25. Negative 4 times 3 times negative 78 is what? And we'll finish up when we get back from lunch. Add 25 and 936.
Yeah.
And then we need to see, is this a perfect square or not? So if we take the square root of 961, not what I did there. There we go. It is a perfect square, we get 31. And you're going to separate it into two separate things. Negative 5 minus 31 over 6 and negative 5 plus 31 over 6. And figure out what both of those would equal. So you can either put that all in your calculator, the negative 5 minus 31 all over 6. Just do the numerator and then divide it. What would that first one give you? Subtract this and then divide. What do you get? -6. And then if you add these and divide, what do you get? What was, can you put all in at the same time? What did you get before that? 26 over 6, which simplifies to be 13. So if it's a repeating decimal, leave it as a fraction. Are there any others we want to see in this section on this review or the other? This was 9 on this one. Seven on the same one. No, we didn't. I just wrote this here. Okay. So 7 will be the last one. Label your A, B, and C values, not the variables, just the numbers. And then start to put this in your equation. I didn't do this. These were A's. We should have been A equals instead of X equals. So this would be negative 7 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 20 all over 2 times 3. And then you can start to simplify. So 7 plus or minus the square root of, what's negative 7 squared? Not negative, positive, but. And then negative 4 times 3 times negative 20. Use your calculator. Add 220 and 49. You got this one, which I think that's correct. So then we're just going to separate it. 7 minus the square root of 269 over 6, and 7 plus the square root of 269 over 6. If you want to put the decimals instead, you'd have to put in that entire piece. 7 minus the square root of 269 all over 6, figure out what that is, and then 7 plus the square root of 269 all over 6. Do we have any general questions? Yes. Multiply negative 4 times 3 and negative 1. Should be 240. Plus you got. That may change things, and may not. So erases. So this would give us, what was that, 17? And then separate it. This is 7 minus 17 over 6 and 7 plus 17 over 6. What would our two answers be? Simplify those two. Figure out those answers.
Would it be plus or minus negative 10 over 6?
So negative 10 over 6. And then that would produce negative 5 over 3. What would the other one be? So thank you, Allison, for fishing that. Okay. Any other general questions? Make sure that you're writing your solution set. If it doesn't say specifically to, scratch what I was going to say. Unless it says write as a order pair, write it as a solution set. Make sure you're showing your work. Make sure you're reading the directions. Go ahead and put your phones in a calculator pocket, not in your bag, underneath your jackets. Take off your watches, all those things.